this. Hi, I love my new avatar. I literally just created this avatar. Let me turn down the... Just realized that's... You guys cannot hear me, but I'm in a zone of peace right now and grateful for that. This is 432 hertz meditation and relaxation music. I might need to turn that down a little bit more. Okay, I think that should be okay. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, wanted to make sure that the comments are showing up. There it is. Okay. That's my Happy Pride Celebration Month little emojicon. So this is a new thing I'm going to be doing. I actually just created a few different avatars. Part of my online technical services will be offering things like this because I do have that artistic side to me, and I'm actually creating a few different types of apps. So stay tuned for more stuff like this. Now I'm trying to make sure, okay, I guess the way I'm holding my phone determines if her mouth moves. Got it. Okay, so like I just made her. This is pretty dope that I was able to actually import and upload, and it's working. I love that. The Pride Month. I love it. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing more stuff like this. More projects like this. I want to thank everybody who has posted positive comments, sent positive energy. Thank you to everyone who's reached out, and to those who, want to donate. I figured I'd jump on here real quick and just give you guys the information, and also say thank you to all of you for your concern. Like I said, I had a really good conversation with one of my close family members, one of my cousins, and she just reminded me of who I am. And, she's been around me for 20 plus years and watched me grow up. And she's like, you've always worked hard, and you need to take care of your health and make sure you're okay. And she's like, and don't worry about what anybody else has to say or how they feel, because, you know who you are. I know who you are. And she just reminded me of how hard I've worked my whole life. And it's like, yo, you're right, so even in the midst of these challenges, I'm still putting my energy into creating opportunities for myself based off my skill set. And see, and I want to address this on behalf of Riri and other DzPeepz. Family, I love all you so much. However, if you are hearing things on other platforms that are negative, now's not the time for me to be giving energy to that. When I'm in a different space, I'll address whatever is being said. Gonna be honest with you guys, I haven't had time to watch other people's platforms because I really am busy building new channels. And the free time I do have, I spend it on this frequency. I listen to this a lot, especially when I'm having my episodes and I'm not feeling well, because it helps to bring about healing and helping me to elevate my frequency so as not to even entertain anything right now that's negative. And as you guys know, when it comes to this app, in certain sectors, there's going to be negative energy. I've told y'all over and over, like, just don't give it energy. Literally, don't. And when it's the right time, I will address what needs to be addressed. Of course, I don't have any tolerance for any platforms that disrespect members of my channel, my real subscribers. People are grown, they're going to do what they're going to do, but this isn't the time for that. And anyone who even would be speaking negative when I am going through this transition isn't an energy that I even feel like you should entertain, because especially if it really bothers you what people are saying, because at the end of the day, you guys, it's YouTube. And we know the real rejects of YouTube and the things that they say and do. I've told you time and time again, rise above it. The only thing I'm focused on at this time is my healing, manifestations, and my peace. That is my number one priority. So, whatever is going on, let's deal with that at a different time. I would much rather you be focused on raising your vibration, and instead of being worried about my health challenges and the things that are going on, put healing and abundance. I would much rather you focus on that frequency. As I told you guys earlier, gratitude attracts abundance. So when it is already a challenging time in my real life, I'm not entertaining any negativity, nor any real rejects at YouTube, nor any geriatric real rejects at YouTube. But that doesn't mean that I'm not concerned with things that have been said about subscribers, just don't. Here's the thing, family. People want energy when you starve them of it. So how many times have I let you guys know that what you focus on, you give your power to? Why focus on it? I'm not. I'm focused on creating in the midst of the challenges. So I would rather we stay in a high frequency, as we always do on this channel. The one thing that I don't do, and that none of you actually do, are troll people's channels and chats. Now, I understand that some people are watching content because they're saying that they are, I guess, protecting me by letting me know what's going on. Family, I love y'all dearly, but my spiritual gifts are very real. I'm very well aware, even without watching people's content. Let's focus on what matters, okay? And even for that energy, you have to ask yourself why these people are more focused on content creators than the Rico. Why is no one talking about the children? I want all of you to go to my Rumble channel. I've put it in the comments. Go watch my latest live, the Pizzagate live. That documentary is extremely interesting. And when I feel better and things are, in a better space, I'll do part 2. But I really need to rest my body and my mind. So the negative aspects of YouTube, we're not giving energy to that. Please don't go back and forth with people. Don't give them energy. That's what they want. Allow me to take care of what I need to take care of. And when I'm in a space where I feel like I want to address things, I'll investigate. I'll go see what was said and address all that. But right now, that's not what we need to even be focused on. So you guys know that on this channel, we are focused on elevating the frequency. And that's why I've been with this music all day. And shout out to Goddess Mercy. I did catch part of her live earlier today. That shit was hilarious. See, I tune into channels that of people who share my gift, and even people who I know in real life, you know, other spiritualists, other readers, other psychics, because there's none of that low vibrational frequency there. It's just everybody enjoying the space and resonating with one another. So I would rather, you know, encourage you guys to focus on your peace right now. Trust me when I say there's a time and a place for everything. And I want to thank those who have been looking out and sending information. But y'all, trust me when I say, ain't nothing that you have told me I didn't already know. I'm just choosing not to give energy to anything that can be a distraction or a blockage for my manifestations. So that's where it's at. But again, it doesn't mean I don't care. It just means this isn't the time and place to focus on that. So again, thank you to those who have been positive in the comments. Thank you to Andrew. Your words of encouragement in the comments were really needed, and I do appreciate that. Family, again, don't forget to head over to Rumble. Click the follow and subscribe button. That is where we are moving to. We're building the platform over there. I want to thank all of y'all that's been tuning in. A few of my videos over there have had almost 1,000 views. So as you know, that's a goal of mine with just building that platform. Rumble, again, is a much better platform because it's not censored and they don't do the most over there. So thank you to all y'all that have been tuning in on Rumble. Thank you to all the DzPeepz that have been participating in the chat, and to the people that have started to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you for your support, because it does mean a lot. So, again, for those, there were a few people that had left comments that wanted to send donations. I'm going to post my Cash App and Venmo, and that is where you can send donations if you would like. And like I said, I would rather we all stay focused. That documentary, family, is very eye-opening. And just brace yourself. I wasn't quite prepared, quite honestly, for a lot of what was in there. Cause I'm watching it with y'all. You know, like I said, I only watched like maybe the first 10 minutes of it, but it's very important to understand, what people have been through. You know, people who have actually lived through being trafficked and sexually abused as children. Their stories definitely need to be heard. And I really want to work on shifting the energy on my channel to, let's see if we can get more people to speak out, more people to come forward who have actually experienced what I'm researching. But like, I know people in real life, like I said, the foster kids that my aunt and uncle used to rescue and help rehabilitate. Those kids would tell me when we were kids how they had been trafficked and abused, and they came through CPS. So this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a real issue that too many people are sweeping under the rug. And I'm just not going to be one of those people, especially as being a survivor of sexual abuse as a child and then being a survivor of sexual abuse as an adult. You know, we don't just sweep shit under the fucking rug, because that's why it doesn't stop. And it continues from generation to generation And it is something that needs to stop immediately. Having commercials of buying and selling children, sexually abusing children is diabolical. I didn't even know that that was a thing. And quite honestly, it disturbed me even watching that. Like, are you fucking serious? And these are some of our favorite, actors and actresses and artists and people in the government and military. And it's like, dude, this shit is it truly is a global epidemic. And why are so many people in the industry not talking about this? Why do they want to focus on distractions and bullshit instead of how the fuck can we find and rescue these kids? How can we help rehabilitate the adults who have endured, like those people that were telling their story, bro? Me having the gifts that I have, I could feel these people's energy. I could feel their pain. And it's just like, all I want to do is create a safe space for people to feel like I can speak my truth and not be judged or victim shame like they're trying to do with this fucking bullshit with the Diddy trial. And, we'll be back on track with that too. But right now I've got to deal with the real life challenges. And definitely when I feel better, like I said, we'll do part 2. We'll continue watching that documentary because it's a super eye opener to know how widespread this is with, the whole alleged pedo ring. And I have to say alleged for the sake of YouTube, but we know what it is. The people that are covering it up and the people that are all allegedly involved. And it's not a coincidence that certain people within the industry have found my channel who I've never heard of and never sought any sort of connection or communication with until they came to my platform. And those same people that are going out of their way to create distractions built on negativity and drama, but yet also at the same time trying to play victim. We just don't have time for that. The only thing I want to be focused on is everything I can do to manifest forever freedom, to actually get facilities for the rehabilitation mentally and spiritually of victims who have been trafficked, and to see how can we locate and rescue the ones who, because I can't sit in and be comfortable with knowing that people truly do sexually assault infants and children, and everyone just acts like, well, they know it's going on, but no one does anything to stop it. It just blows my mind that people don't try to stop this shit. So yeah, I'm going to continue my investigations. I'm going to continue with aligning things with what I am researching in regards to how this all links to this satanic, agenda. And I don't care who gets mad in my investigation and exposing. If you have been in any way, shape, or form involved, I don't give a damn who you are. You're getting exposed. Period. Especially when I have receipts. Because that's how we stop it. Being silent about it is why it continues. So it's time to do something and actually make a difference in this no longer happening. Because when you think about your children, I just don't ever want to imagine that happening to any more kids. So it's time to actually put energy into that. Fuck all the distractions and the bullshit. And pay attention to the content creators that are not talking about it. There's a reason for that. And there are people who are allegedly being instructed not to talk about it. But if you've been a part of this, participated, knew about, and did nothing to stop it, well, you just might have to, answer to the Most High for that one day. But in the meantime, those of us that do care, let's see what we can do. And exposure seems to be the first step. So, like I said, let me put my Rumble in the chat again. For those who haven't, don't forget to go and click the like on every video that you view. Share the video, follow, subscribe. That is going to be the platform where the lives will be. Like, I'll start on YouTube, and now that I'm creating avatars, I'm going to probably continue to use this particular app platform. But definitely we need to stay focused on what matters. And when the time comes for me to address everything, trust me, I will. But right now, the more I think about that last live and the things that have been discovered, it just really bothers my spirit, you guys. Truly. It bothers my spirit. And I just can't for the life of me understand how other people cannot care. So let's focus on what can we do. Let's make sure that we keep all of those kids in prayer. You don't have to know them to pray for them. And not just the kids, pray for the adults. Like those adults that were in that documentary, I could see all the trauma on them. I could feel it. And that's the beauty. And, you know, sometimes the downside of having the gifts that I have is I feel, see, and hear so much and know so much about people that they don't realize. And when I can feel their pain and their hurt and their trauma, I just want to help them heal. So I feel like that's what we need to be focused on. And family, just pray, because this, you know, the chosen right now, we're being set apart for a divine purpose. And if you have spiritual gifts, now is the time to tap into them. Now is the time to research them. Because at the end of the day, Ephesians 6 is true. You know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We're not really fighting against people. We're fighting against their spirits, principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places, other people who don't understand that their demons have conquered them because they don't have dominion over their own demons, which is why they behave the way they behave. That's why sometimes, you know, not responding to people is the best thing to do, especially when you can recognize the spiritual issue. So that's what I wanted to make sure you guys all shift your focus. When I tune the world out and go into meditation with this frequency, it really does help to put everything in perspective. I was listening to the "You Are the Creator's" mantra, the "All My Needs Are Met," and that inspired me on the type of mantras that I'm going to edit for my new spirituality channel, or new spiritual channel, Spiritual and Healing. And it'll be, you know, videos like this, but there will also be positive affirmation mantras, showing people how to clear like blockages. I've really realized the blockages that I had that I've released. And that is why during this Pluto retrograde, because we're definitely still in the Pluto retrograde. Pluto is about the shadow self. So it allows you to do shadow work, where you look at where you've grown and where you may need, you know, where you may still need healing. And that was a conversation that I had earlier with my cousin, was recognizing where I've grown and being in gratitude that when my father died, when Elissa, my soul sister, my best friend, died, those are the two times in my life I really turned to alcohol for coping with grief. And I remember that. And my cousin remembers that. And we were talking about that today. And she's like, when's the last time you drank? I was like, August, literally. Because I'm a social drinker. And I don't always drink when I go out either. The one thing that I'm grateful for is that alone. Because she's like, going through what you have been dealing with, you normally would have already, bought like a bottle or two. I was like, yeah, and I don't have no desire for that. I'm very tired right now. And with me having Graves, when I'm tired, my cognitive is different. And I tend to kind of forget what I'm saying. Like I get kind of foggy brain, but it's just like, I was grateful to be able to reminisce with her when that was my reality. And now it's not. And I don't even have a desire to drink. Like that, I don't think y'all understand for me how big that is. And I had to really just stop and look at that. Like, damn, she's right. Because I don't even buy alcohol. And I haven't really been out much other than, trying to make it to the Adina Howard performance. But then I had a GI episode like right when her performance started. And so I'm really glad, I got a chance to still meet her. But it's like I don't really get a chance to get out to enjoy life as much as I want to because of the physical challenge. And so, she was discussing with me about the tumors and things. And I said, look, I get everybody's concern. I appreciate it. But like I keep telling everybody, just speak healing and abundance. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm a 2-time thyroid cancer survivor, naturally. No chemo, no medication. I'm now 15 years thyroid cancer free. So whatever is going on, yes, I'm losing a lot of blood. Yes, I've lost a lot of weight. But I've also changed a lot of what I've been eating. So it's not a thing to be worried. Well, what if you have cancer? Okay, and had it before, beat it, went into remission, came back, went into remission again. That's not something that I'm going to focus on. It's not something I'm going to claim. Miss Williams, good to see you, my love. So, the concern is appreciated, but the request is to put healing, abundance, and favor, replace worry with that. That's the frequency that I need right now. And no distractions, especially negative ones. So I just want you guys to know I do care very dearly for all of you that truly support my platform. And I appreciate the ones that are looking out. Like I said, I get it. I know y'all are just being protective. I do get that. But like I said, let's focus on what matters. Let's focus on how we can help people heal. And what can we do to continue to put the word out so that, I don't even want to call them victims, survivors, other survivors will feel comfortable to come forward and tell their story. And just brace yourself. This is Rumble. This is not YouTube. So it's a lot more, uncensored type of content over there. But that's why I like it over there, because it's none of that bullshit. And you can just really get the truth and the facts. So we'll definitely be doing part 2 soon. Like I said, I don't want to say what day because I'll say that. And then if I'm not feeling well and I'm tired, I need to rest. And so that's something else I'm realizing is that when my body is telling me to rest, I need to do it. So, because I'm used to always working, always be on the go. Like my cousin said, she's like, you've been working since you was 12. I said, right. Like, it's even hard for me to just rest, and one of the people that I'm really grateful for, she's like, you do realize you need to be resting your body. Like, you don't need to be doing too much if you don't feel good. And that's when my cousin was like, just chill out and everything will be all right. So shout out to my cousin. We had a good conversation today. Shout out to those, like I said, who have left the positive comments, your prayers. Thank you. Thank you for your positive energy. And family, let's keep it there. Let's keep it focused on high frequency, showing each other love and support. And let's not give energy to distractions right now. Things will be addressed in due time, but right now, let's give our energy to abundance. So Miss Williams said, praying for your healing and prosperity. Thank you, my love. You're beautiful inside out. Please don't let these... Child, I'm not... Like I said, other people letting them stress them out. That's why I'm even addressing this, because I'm like, baby, I get you mad. Trust me. Trust me, my love. I get it. I understand why you mad. But let's focus on that later. You know, and I don't, like I said, I don't want y'all to think I don't care. I care. It's just today ain't the day for that. Like, at all. And y'all know now, come on, family. You know, when I get to addressing shit, I address shit unfiltered. That's why my channel is raw and uncensored. I don't give no fucks. Okay? So, we're focused on other things. We're focused on higher frequency. We're focused on healing, manifestation, abundance. That is literally the only thing I've been focused on today, is calling in exactly what I've been praying for. And my healing is my priority, not what, you know, people talking shit. Sometimes y'all gotta realize that everything don't deserve your energy. Everything don't deserve a response. A lot of times that's all people want, is a reaction from you and your energy, you know. So, what? Okay, I don't know. But anyways, let's stay focused. Let's keep all these people, like I said, it's not just the children that are being trafficked, family. It's the adults who have endured this shit. When that lady said she was used to being sexually abused by the time she was 2, that really broke my heart. I just couldn't imagine that. Seriously, I could not for the life of me imagine that. So, let's think about those types of people that are still hurting, that are trapped in that trauma, and that trauma keeps them bound to that lower frequency. It keeps them bound to that abuse. So they need prayer, you know, they need healing as well. So let's keep it there. And when we're on our platform, we do show each other love all the time. Let's keep that energy going as well. So I want to thank all of you for, again, your concern. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everybody who has been posting positive comments, and, you know, sending positive energy. I receive it. I send it back to you 100,000 fold. And for those who would like to donate, again, the Cash App and Venmo's in the chat, and I'll post it in the comments after this gets done uploading. Because since I'm using a third-party app, it didn't allow me to enter the description. But I want to thank all of you that truly do care. It means a lot to me, family. It does. And do know that I care. And everything will be dealt with in due time. And family, also remember that we always are protected. Like I said, any energy that rises up against all of us, not just me, shall fall by the wayside immediately and be destroyed, and chaos and confusion will come about their lives, and death and hell will follow their evil intentions back to them. When you know you're divinely protected, you don't really give energy to non-motherfucking factors. We don't, you know, we don't get upset or give our power to people that are in a low vibration. Expect people in a low vibration to talk shit. Expect people in a low vibration to say and do negative things, and then just maintain your frequency. And if you're in a place where you feel discouraged or depressed or whatever, I want to encourage you to do exactly what I'm doing. Tap into that higher frequency, your higher self, and listen to high frequency music. 432, 440, 528, 741, 963 is literally the God frequency. 1111. You can literally type that You can type that into YouTube and it will lead you to music just like this, and then you will find your peace. So, like I said, I don't want anyone to think like, oh, Dee doesn't care, or, she's not trying to address it. No, Dee just has a lot going on in her real life, in her real world, outside of here. And that is where my energy is going, to my healing and my manifestations, not to any other distractions. So, Patty Munn, good to see you, my love. Thank you. Appreciate you. Like, it's like sometimes, I guess, depending on the way the camera's positioned, sometimes her mouth moves and it doesn't. I actually just made this avatar. I found a couple of apps that allowed me to actually customize and create avatars. So, yeah, she's my most recent one. But I think I made anywhere from, 5 to 8. So, yeah. And that's the other thing, family. People who are sitting up just talking shit aren't being productive. I'm literally launching new channels. In addition to launching new virtual services, launching my Etsy store for my artwork. Like, when you're actually being productive, you don't really have time to sit on YouTube and troll and talk shit. So, and then also remember, what you focus on, you give your power to. So, family, even if people are speaking negative, they're giving me all their energy. So, yeah, I am editing a lot of content. I'm getting ready to be uploading a lot of videos. And no matter what I'm going through, I'm still being productive. Even like literally during my episodes, I literally have one of my wooden trays, which is why I carry those around with me, because they're needed, in the bathroom where I'm sitting there editing if I'm in the middle of having an episode. So that's just how I've always been. You have to put in the work. Might not feel good, but shit, as long as my hands is working, I can edit, And that's just how my brain is. So, like I said, let's stay focused on what matters. Let's maintain a high frequency. I made so many different types of these avatars. So pretty much every time I jump on here, if I don't feel one, I don't want to cam up, you guys are probably going to see a different avatar. In fact, I'll probably test a few of them tonight. And Dolly said, frequencies and plenty of feel-good movies. Oh, absolutely. I have been watching so many comedy movies and sitcoms and just really staying in a relaxed state. Because see, with Graves, what people don't understand with Graves' disease, again, that is an autoimmune disease. So it causes my thyroid and immune system to attack one another. And I didn't know that I was born with that until I was diagnosed in my 20s. And with Graves, it can cause, if you get too stressed out, it can cause you to have a heart attack or a stroke. Your respiratory system can collapse. So I've been dealing with so many different things in real life every single day. And it's like I have to still calm myself down and make sure that I'm keeping myself grounded and centered because of the different, situations and circumstances that have come up. And like I said, when I was talking to my cousin and she's like, man, back in the day, you would be like faded. I was like, I know, like that made me grateful. Like, damn, I didn't even realize in that moment I have grown a lot. I don't like, and it's nothing to people that drink. Trust me. I'm just saying for me, I know I was an alcoholic. And to not fall back into that while going through all these challenges is something I didn't even look at until like really when I talked to her, because she's like, damn, I remember when. So I'm grateful for that. I would rather just take time to meditate and pray. And, I want people to learn from my life, from my actual journey right now, that even in the face of uncertainty, you still have to fight through, and you still have to have faith no matter what. If I learned anything from Elissa, especially the times I be missing her, is that she battled with diabetes since she was 17. She unfortunately was only 33 when she transitioned, because she had renal failure and she had to be on dialysis, and the dialysis made her worse, made her more sick. She was always in and out the hospital. And then she was dealing with sarcoidosis too, which is what Bernie Mac had. And she would get frustrated. She would vent to me. I would vent to her, when I was going through the thyroid cancer shit. And we always were there for one another, encouraging one another, uplifting one another, despite what we were dealing with. And she was my example of strength and perseverance. So as much as I miss her, I feel her. Like, I actually feel her right now, so I know she's here. And I just want to thank you for giving me that, giving me that real life up close example of how to be strong and how to keep moving forward, and how to just keep having faith and knowing that everything we go through it's like a test, for real. It really is. It's like a test to see how you're going to react, how you're going to respond. And I remember when I used to freak out or, have an anxiety attack or get really depressed or get really drunk, get really fucked up. And it's just like, now I just look at, okay, trust the process. This is part of that, this is part of the journey. This is the part of the test that they showed me that was going to be hard and fucked up. I mean, I did technically sign up for this shit when I died and went to heaven and came back. They showed me all like this part of the Monopoly board where shit was really hard and really fucked up for like a long period of time. And then all of a sudden, just overnight, because I didn't stop, like they showed me my life on a Monopoly board that was sepia and was like, as long as you don't stop and you keep going, once you get to that other side, everything you've ever wanted is going to be there. But they showed me how it was going to be really hard. And they asked me, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because you could stay here. You don't have to go back. I was like, nah, if I'm given a mission, I'm going to do it. So when there's challenges that come up, I'm like, okay, do I listen to what everybody else got to say, or do I stand on what I know? And what I know is that the Most High God has never left me, ever, because the Most High God is within me. Therefore, the Most High God is in me. So if the Most High God is in me, why would I claim what some doctor or somebody else told me? I was like, if there is a way for me to naturally heal this, show me. I'll do that. But if not, let's get it popping on the biopsies. Let's get it popping on the surgery so I don't have to live with this no more. Because the last time I talked with a nurse, she's like, it might actually be prolapse you're experiencing, not just the tumors, and we really need to get you evaluated for that. So, I understand why people are mad about people who have made fun of me, made fun of my health. I know why y'all are mad. I get it. But family, don't be mad, man. Just, stop giving energy to that. Give it energy to healing, abundance, manifestations. Let's stay focused. Because what y'all don't understand is this is the platform where everybody receives healing. That's why this is a platform that gets attacked by those who are not healed, by those who demons have dominion over them right now. That's why they do the shit they do and say what they say. Divine, good to see you, my love. Thank you for the love and light. I receive that love and light back to you. So, I just want y'all to know 444 on the live clock. Thank you, ancestors. Stay in that frequency, man. Like, get into a meditative state, get into a prayerful state. And I am going to pray before I end this live. because I feel so many of y'all's energy, and a lot of people are, they're battling, and some of y'all don't realize that you are actually spiritually battling, but it's just not the time to be weak. You know what I'm saying? Like the true chosen, we've got to stay focused. We got to stay focused on what matters. We got to stay focused on maintaining our power no matter what we face, no matter what we encounter. Like I said, whatever I find out, I'm healed. I speak that. That's exactly how I beat thyroid cancer twice. Went into remission twice. No chemo, no medicine, no nothing. Changing what I ate, changing how I thought, changing everything. Last time I saw my mom, she's like, you don't eat beef or pork? She's like, since when? I was like, since like 2018. Hell, I was vegan for a couple of years, but it was too hard. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That's really what, kind of made this shit worse, because being vegan is a complete detox. And yeah, those extended times was not good for me. So, when I had talked with my doctor, then I was like, yeah, no, your digestive system can't handle that. You can't because you need protein because of the anemia from the blood loss from the tumors. So, I mean, it's just crazy when people are lying on me that don't know anything about me, but yet people that know me in real life, they know what I go through. And even with that, I'm healed already. That's the example I want to be. There's a lot of people out here going through shit that's like, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, woe is me. Oh, everything is bad. And I'll be looking at them like, you perfectly healthy and you complaining, bruh? Like, come on, bruh. I don't know. I think that's why God makes me go through stuff like this. Because people who are perfectly healthy that weren't born with certain type of generational curses, and that's all these are, and I'm going to break every last one of them. I look at people like that, like, how can you complain, bro? Like, you don't have to spend an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in the bathroom because your stomach just won't stop contracting. And as it's contracting, you're bleeding and you can't make it stop. Like, unless you experience that, you don't know what it's like. So when it's people that don't know shit about me, like actual strangers that have never met me, ain't never been around me, you think I'm about to give energy to that? Hell no. I know what I go through every day. And I speak abundance as it's happening. I speak healing as it's happening. And I see myself healed. I see myself abundant. I see myself prosperous. I see myself successful, fulfilling every dream, not just, doing my editing, but really making my movie. Like the avatar I just made, my movie's they're gonna look like this, my characters. That's why I'm even in this creation mode right now, because I'm creating characters for my movie. My movie's gonna be animated. The one that I made the trailer for, and I made that trailer using Adobe After Effects, Premiere Pro, Photoshop. I like Photoshop better than Illustrator, and After Effects. And then I use a bunch of different nonlinear software editing apps and just created it. That had no AI applied to it. Because technically I first made that during the pandemic. That's when I got that premonition where the angels reminded me of what they showed me in heaven with the double doors that said Gog and Magog. And I've been showed y'all that in Ezekiel and Isaiah, And wait a minute, no, let me get the correct. I believe that's in Gog versus Magog is in Ezekiel and Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken. But they showed me that double doors and all the religious symbols, and it said Gog and Magog. And then I showed y'all how that's on the map and all the countries that are involved in that and how they all are going to end up attacking Jerusalem. That's why those of us that are of the true bloodline, we are the chosen. And the bloodline, these are not the satanic bloodlines. These are the true chosen, the true descendants of Yeshua, the real Christ, not the false Jesus, whitewashed motherfucker, the real Yeshua. And Yeshua was in the streets. Yeshua was a thug. Yeshua was melanin. Yeshua was not some fucking pope that and all them damn popes be getting, accused of raping boys and shit. Like this abomination that this planet has done, I don't think humans understand how prepared the angelic order is for this final spiritual war. That's why I pray those prayers of protection. People really don't understand that when you come up against God's chosen, the true high vibrationals, you are only bringing, quite honestly, damnation. You're inviting energies to yourself that you ain't prepared to deal with. And a lot of our spiritual protection people ain't prepared to deal with. Why would I be afraid of anybody when I've died and gone to heaven and come back? When I have cast demons out of people successfully? When I can see the demons on you and can command them, because they have to bow down to the Most High God frequency that I carry. That's why, Christ said himself, woe unto them that offend even the least of mine. It would be better that they had a noose tied around their neck and plunged to the depths of the sea. And you think that Christ wasn't a real nigga? You think he wasn't a real one? Come on now. So no, we don't worry about those in low vibration. I put people in the hands of my ancestors and leave them there. And I keep my focus on what matters. My healing, my peace. Ain't nobody about to be giving energy to people that really don't matter. And family, I need y'all to start getting some fuck it in your system. Like Cat Williams said on his stand-up. I got to edit some more Cat Williams content because that nigga is funny as hell. But he was serious as hell. He's like, once you get fuck it in your system, does it really matter what non-motherfucking factors think about you? Does it really matter? Nah, it don't. But if you care what they think about you, then you make it seem like they matter. When the reality is they don't. So we can't control what people say and do. We can't control what happens to us. We can't control how we respond. And a lot of times, no response is a very powerful one. Because you can maintain your frequency and ain't nobody shaking or moving you. But yet they worried about you when you're not even focused on these people. So focus on what matters. Eliminate distractions. Said that part. When my husband was a child, he was at death's door, suspected meningitis. His mom called the nuns and they did a laying on the hands, and the next day he was fine. Yeah. Like I said, all that matters is what you want to call in, man. Seriously, I want y'all to learn this. Like, when I be showing y'all the angel numbers, that's some real shit. Those are divine messages. And I've been getting them. I mean, when I tell y'all, I've been seeing 444 anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day, every day. Quadruple 4, 333, 222, 777, 999. Like, they're constantly communicating with me. Like, don't focus on your circumstance. Don't focus on the situations. Don't focus on the challenges. Focus on where you see yourself being. And then put all the energy into that manifestation. And if I can manifest anything I want while going through this shit, then so can anybody else. And I feel like that's the reason the Most High and my ancestors are making me go through this transition. To truly be that example that you can accomplish what you set out to do despite whatever challenges you might be facing. And all I keep thinking is I am 15 years thyroid cancer free. That's something I manifested, no medication, no chemo. So if I'm not worried about these tumors, I don't want y'all to worry. Yep, I've been seeing 8882 divine. And that's the number of alchemy, but it's also the infinity. And every time I've seen 888, I've had these very vivid premonitions of my future, me working side by side with my divine masculine, us, doing events and traveling and really getting money. And not just getting money, but making a difference with that. Like I said, my first goal is obviously all of my health, everything that I need to get taken care of, get it taken care of. So I can be at 100%. And then I want to get Forever Freedom popping and start that process of getting actual buildings. And of course, it'll be virtual too, virtual services. But these people who have suffered sexual abuse since they were babies and toddlers, they need extensive support. They need regular soul sessions. I don't ever want to call them therapy sessions because it's a healing facility. And then they need that group support. Like when I first was in grief counseling with Elissa and then my dad, those support groups were amazing because you get a chance to talk to people that feel the same way you feel, that actually understand, the stages of grief you're going through. Just like when I joined support groups for women who have had suffered multiple miscarriages, it was helpful to talk to women who have lost more than one child in miscarriage. And I've had ectopic pregnancies as a result of Graves' disease. So my doctor talked to me years back and was like, if you want to have children and you have fibroids, you have to get those removed. I do have to get those removed. Or I did hear that they have new treatments that involve dissolving them where you don't have to have surgery. If I can do that, that's what I would prefer. But these are all things that I know I want to get taken care of in preparation of becoming a mother, because I keep seeing my daughter. I keep seeing my future, being married, being a mom, and having a family. And I don't want any of these generational curses that have been passed down to me to pass down to my children. So I would much rather make sure I get everything healed and taken care of that way, because like my doctor said, he's like, you'll have to be on bed rest your whole pregnancy, like when you actually get ready to have kids, and you're not going to be able to be active like you are. And that is something that's hard for me because I'm so used to working. I don't see me being able to be on bed rest, I'm gonna be honest. But if I had to, for the sake of my child, I would do it. Because again, I've already lost 5. And it's like, I saw my daughter the other day. I was in the car with my divine masculine future husband, and we were driving around, and she was newborn, and she started crying. So, I had him to pull over and got in the back with her. It's like, that's what my premonitions are like. They're like very vivid movie scenes that are just suspended in the air. And I keep seeing this. I keep seeing me presenting my movie in this it's kind of like an auditorium, but a theater at the same hand. And I'm actually doing my movie premiere, and it's going to be animated. And I want all of the characters to look just like this avatar. So, like I said, no matter what I'm facing, I'm still using my skill set to create the life I've been wanting to manifest. And rather than waste energy and time on shit that doesn't matter. I would rather spend that time on my creations. So I want y'all to stay focused in that same space. Stay focused on how you want your life to be, what you want your life to be, and then shift your focus to making that happen. Just like the angel number said, you know, believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, your goals, and then take action towards those goals. So that's literally what I'm doing. That's how I created this avatar for this live and create a bunch of other ones. So, you know, I got to give her a name because D is just boring. I'll figure it out, but I like how this one came out. Very happy about that. Let me see that little, that still does work. So yeah, again, happy Pride Month to all of my rainbow family. I'm gonna re-upload that video that I edited of Bobby Lights. Shout out to Bobby Lights. And oh, it's slipping my mind, see, because I'm sleepy, the name of his song, Judgment Day. That's one of my favorite songs by him, and it was definitely life-changing. So I'm gonna re-edit that and upload that short in honor of Pride Month. And shout out to our newest member of the community, Neptune Pisces, that came out on my Rumble channel. Again, y'all need to get over to Rumble because that's where it's going down. That's where the lives are at. And I was so proud of him when he came out during that live and said that he told his dad. I'm like, that's what's up. So yeah, shout out to our newest Rainbow community member, Neptune Pisces. Okay, there is the link in the chat. That's also why I like using this app, because for whatever reason on the actual YouTube app I can never type in the chat. But did it show it or not? Hold on, I typed it in there. Let me type it again. That's what I was looking for before I started the live, to update the title. I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of her because I want a different thumbnail. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna try to get the cute little pose. Because I'd rather use that for the thumbnail right now. Hold on, where did I go to find that? Oh, you know what? Hold up. Let me upload that one. I completely forgot. There is an image I found when I was moving. Shit, the whole thing won't fit. But when I was moving some files to create space, and I completely forgot I made this on my phone like last year. So I think I'm gonna use that one instead. And I'm going to end up making probably a reel with that image. So yeah, anyway, family, I'm going to jump off. I am tired. I definitely need to get some rest. But again, thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you to my DzPeepz. And again, for those who have sent prayers and sent positive energy. Again, let's stay focused on just that, because we really don't have time to give our energy to anything else right now anyway. And then for those who had posted comments, there were some people asking about how they could send donations. So I've posted my Cash App and Venmo in the chat. Now, for those that get on Venmo, because I know some people were saying they were getting confused. So you just sign up just like you do anything else, just like, Cash App and PayPal. But the easiest thing to do, because I guess some people had trouble finding my profile on there, is when you sign up and you click on that link, click on add friend. And then what'll happen is it'll send me a friend request, and then it'll automatically link us. And then that way you're not encountering any sort of difficulty with trying to send a donation. So that's also why I jumped on here, because I forgot about that. The people who have sent donations in the past, once they sent a friend request, it was easy. We could just find each other. So for now, those are the two that I'm using. And for international subscribers that want to donate, just send me an email and I'll send you a link to my private account. But again, certain information I'm not going to make publicly available. And if it's private, it stays private. So I want to thank all of you for your support. Know that you can, look, let me tell y'all something. If you learn anything from watching my channel, know that you can overcome anything, you can push through anything, and no matter what you're being faced with, do not let your faith waver because of your circumstances. Just know that if you focus on how you want your life to be, like I see myself healed, I see myself healthy, I see myself working out like I used to. Like I used to work out 3 to 4 times a week. I want to be able to do that again. I plan to start offering yoga courses with my yoga mat and yoga ball, showing you actual workouts that you can do to get your body, right, to get your body toned. If you like, people be thinking I got a BBL. No, I just do yoga. Like I don't need to do that. Everything about me is natural, and that's what I promote. So there's different services I'm going to be offering under my Chef on a Budget, Eat Your Way Healthy, health and nutrition courses, teaching people how to eat the nutrients they need instead of taking a whole bunch of pharmaceutical pills. Literally eat your way healthy. As things progress, I will be offering my purple sea moss gel again. My aloe cocoa products. I've even improved my aloe wash. It's been working amazing. So there's different things that I am working on even while going through this to manifest the life that I know I deserve to live. And that's something that, as a woman who is single and has always been self-sufficient, that is something I want to accomplish for myself. Because of the health challenges I'm going through, I want to prove to myself that I'm not going to let that stop me from succeeding and from achieving the goals that I set out to do. So, against all odds, I'm going to do what I need to do. And the only way I can do that is by staying focused on what I'm doing. That's why I ain't gonna hold y'all. A lot of times when I'm editing, my phone is on Do Not Disturb. So if people call or text and, it takes me a while to respond, it's more than likely because I'm editing on my phone. And me having graves gives me like damn near ADHD. Plus I have that shit just damn near every 80, baby. We got fucking ADHD. But I have that shit as a result of Graves' disease. So that's why sometimes my focus, my attention and my focus can be real sporadic. So if I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications, I'm automatically going to stop editing and then go see what this is. And then like, I'm not getting, I'm not staying productive. So, I would rather, continue to get my channels launched, get the content done, get the content edited, while also, supporting people who I do see. Shout out to Flip, by the way. I've seen a lot of the recent posts. The giving back to community is absolutely what we need, especially in our cultures. Like, we need more positivity. We need more of us doing positive things. And it's dope to always see that. And there's so many different events and opportunities for those, especially people that have kids, different events that are coming up. But I just wanted to acknowledge that, because it's so much of distractions, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and it's just like, bruh, too many of us are falling for that bullshit. Let's see what we can do to make a difference. What can we do to help stop bullying in real life, not just cyberbullying and gang stalking? And by the way, shout out to everyone that's been signing my petition. Thank you to everybody who has been signing, to those that have been sharing the Stop Cyberbullying and Gang Stalking petition. Let me put that in the chat again, the link for that. Shout out to the first 750 signatures. And for those that are sharing, give me one moment. Okay, so I dropped that down in the chat as well. Miss Williams, thank you for the heart. La Familia, thank you for tuning in, my love. So, like I said, family, let's stay focused on what matters. Sign and share the petition. And thank you for your prayers. Keep them coming. They're needed. For those that want to send a donation, please do. It is still needed. Because this is a daily thing that I am currently working through in speaking healing, victory, and abundance over. The thing that I'm literally practicing is that instead of getting frustrated and upset about what I can't control, let me stay focused on gratitude, because I know that gratitude attracts abundance. And if I have to tune the whole world out to stay focused on continuing to do the work, to manifest, the new channels, new content, new opportunities, then that's what I'm going to do. And honestly, like, I really be doing that in the bathroom, because I be in there so long. So it's like, people be like, why you carry wooden trays? Well, shit, I need a little pop-up desk, because I might be in there, or I might be in a place where they don't, have a desk, and I got my laptop and, still doing my channel, still doing my lives from my yoga ball. That's also why my body be the way it is, because I literally sit on a yoga ball daily. And then I do workouts on the yoga ball. Like, I do full body workouts. So if I can do it with all the challenges I got going on, people who are perfectly healthy, you can literally look good and be healthy with a yoga mat and yoga ball. I got both of these from Amazon. Yoga mat, I think, is like, what is it, 1.5 inches thick, which you want one that's at least 1.5 inches thick, so that if you're on a hardwood floor, it doesn't hurt your back. And try to get a large yoga ball for those that actually want to join in, because I am going to be starting the yoga classes soon too. The one I have, that big ass red ball, that's a 120 centimeter yoga ball, and I did get that off Amazon when I was still working for Progressive. So I've had that for a little over a year, and I mean, it's still, sturdy. So if you have issues with your spine, like me, having damage to my spine from accidents where I was hit, tailbone fracture, cervical spine damage, nerve damage, the yoga ball helps to alleviate all that nerve pain, and it takes the pressure off of your lower spine. And then it also just helps you to, maintain your butt lift. It's almost like sitting on the yoga ball and then doing like a full back stretch is basically doing full leg extensions, lunges, and squats all at the same time, but you're actually able to sit down doing it. So like I said, I'll be doing demonstration type lives where I'm actually showing you the workouts and, you know, showing you just kind of how to do them. And then if you want the one-on-one sessions, the full workouts, then I'll offer a membership, but it'll be like on the actual website. And I'm actually working on multiple apps too, because I am a coder. You know, I know HTML5 and CSS3 and JavaScript programming. So I'm actually teaching myself how to code apps. So it's like so many different things I'm working on despite what I'm going through. And I'm grateful for the different talents that I have. So I would much rather put my energy into, okay, I might not be able to go work in restaurants. Like I said, I opened the Woodlands Longhorn. I've worked in restaurants my whole life as a certified culinary trainer and executive chef and pastry chef, and then having my own event catering business. Growing up doing event catering, we grew up doing full-on weddings, like the wedding cake, the decorations, the catering, the serving. My mom was also a wedding coordinator, so it was like when people hired us, we did the whole shit, you know, set it up, decorate it, food, hors d'oeuvres, mints, because that's back in the day. Like you could, like how now you can just go purchase a rose or mints. No, we had them old school like candy molds, and like we made the flowers. Like my mom showed us how to create using cake decoration frosting to actually make flowers. Nowadays you just go buy that shit. So it's wild when I think back to all, and that's when my cousin was like, we was talking about that, like I've really worked hard my whole life, like for real. I really grew up in a business, and my body is not allowing me to work that hard. However, the knowledge that I have, I can bring it virtual. And then on the days when I feel okay, you know, I could start doing prep and drop off and doing little events here and there. But the focus right now really is manifesting virtual opportunities that put me in a position where now I'm not only stable, but I'm able to go to events. I'm able to get vendor, tables and booths and sell my products and bring awareness to, and they're all completely natural. No chemicals, no alcohol, no parabens, no sulfates, none of that. Because me having Graves' disease makes my skin extremely sensitive. And my dad had hella sensitive skin, and unfortunately I inherited that from him. Like, I literally broke out in hives from toilet paper last week. Like, no bullshit. Like, my skin is so sensitive. So I decided to stop buying a lot of products and just start making them. So I make cocoa butter based deodorant, cocoa butter based lip balm. I'm working on, I have a hair oil that I do on, that's what I use on my own hair, my afro. But I'm also working on a solid bar soap, body wash. Like, I'm coming out with a full line of completely cocoa butter and shea butter based products, and then fresh aloe products. So that's what my aloe cocoa brand is. It's aloe and cocoa butter based products. So it's like, nah, I'm too busy, even with what I'm going through, still working on business shit, because that's just how I grew up. I mean, I helped my mom run a business when I was 12. I was a fucking manager and sous chef, and then I became a kitchen trainer when I was 15. Like, I've always worked. So I can't, that whole thought of being on bed rest, well, shit, if I get pregnant when I'm with my divine masculine and I end up on bed rest, trust and believe I'm launching multiple products and brands from the bed. Like, I just cannot sit and have time and not be productive. So it's like, my cousin had to remind me, but you still need to rest because of what your body's going through. And so did, the people that I regularly talk to. So it's like, I feel what y'all saying, and I do. So just because I'm resting, I'm still editing. That I got to make it happen. So that's just the hustle in me. But I want to thank y'all, like I said, for your positive energy, your words, your prayers. I can feel it, and it means a lot to me. You know, I'm grateful for my DzPeepz that really do care, that be concerned, you know, that reach out, ask how I'm doing, and just know you guys are appreciated. I know a lot of content creators, one thing I realize is that if it wasn't for y'all tuning in, y'all supporting my channel wouldn't have the growth that it is, you know. And despite whatever bullshit is going on this app, that's just not the frequency I tune in. I can't even be mad at what God has allowed, you know. The 999 completion endings, tower moments, I'm grateful for every tower moment. I am grateful for every situation that fell in and out of vibration. I'm grateful for the knowledge to see things and people for who they are, and to not let any bullshit break me. It takes a lot of strength to overcome obstacle after obstacle, challenge after challenge, and then also dealing with an online presence. And like my mom was telling me, she's like, well, technically you like a public figure, so you got to expect certain energy. She is like, but you also have to just remember who you are. And that's exactly like pretty much what my cousin was telling me. And it's like, yeah, I don't give a damn what nobody say about me, especially motherfuckers that ain't never met me, ain't been around me, don't know shit about me. Ask people that know my ass. Everybody knows back home, my family is known for the weddings we did, especially my mom's wedding cakes. My mom still gets orders. She be getting orders for her cakes. I'm like, you done had 3 strokes. She still be baking. She's stubborn as hell. I'm stubborn like her ass too, I know it. But she's like, look, if I can move, I'm baking. I'm getting, you know, orders. And that's how we are in my family. So, and my mom's diabetic, you know, she was in the hospital in and out. And sometimes she's not okay, you know. She has issues with her blood sugar. She has issues with her leg because of the stroke from my uncle passed and stuff. So I be praying for her, and, you know, we get to talking and talk about all the chef stuff, and she gets all excited, you know, when I'm telling her like different things she can eat to replace medication. Cucumber, for all of y'all that have hypertension, which is high blood pressure, please start eating cucumber on a weekly basis, if not daily. And make sure you peel the cucumber, because the acid reflux that you get, if you ever eat cucumber with skin on and you get acid reflux, that is actually a result of the fertilizer and the chemicals that are sprayed into the ground that grow the cucumber. I found that out the first year in culinary school in my health and nutrition class. Like, it's so much to bacteria and certain microorganisms that you will get a foodborne illness, not from the food, from just what it grows in, you know. And there are quite a few vegetables and even fruits that carry not just E. coli, but other foodborne illnesses. So, you know, all that stuff I learned in school, I'm going to put all of that into my new channels, teaching people about this stuff. So Ms. Williams said, I have hypo. Oh, I got food for you. I got natural treatments for you too. So yeah, they wanted me to take that bullshit when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, that fucking, what's that radiation pill? Synthroid. I was like, hell nah. Cause I knew somebody in real life that I work with at fucking United Health Group, who she had Graves' disease. She was older than me, and she had the surgery where they took out her whole thyroid. Man, when she told me the shit she went through, I was like, hell nah. And she got to be on that bullshit the rest of her life. That shit makes your hair fall out, because it's basically chemo in pill form. I was like, I ain't taking that shit. Anytime I got to be on it the rest of my life, shit, nope. I started taking purple sea moss gel. That started helping. So like I said, I know there are certain things that I can eat and do that will help some of these symptoms, but I also have to be in a position and to, create those items. So that's what I'm speaking into existence. And once I'm in a position where I can start to make the purple sea moss gel, I will definitely be selling that, because that is a natural treatment that will treat most endocrine disorders, which Graves' disease and hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism, though, and diabetes, those are all endocrine disorders. So it's Irish purple sea moss gel that has like 92 minerals, vitamins, so much healthy nutrition, and you don't have to take a whole bunch of different medications, so that will be a part of my Chef on a Budget, Eat Your Way Healthy new channel. And then I'm going to have a virtual tech channel where I'm offering virtual technical services, like those who have help like with your phones or your laptop, showing you how to free up memory. If you're having device issues, I know how to do troubleshooting. I actually worked in tech support for Sprint some years ago. And then I've worked in tech support for Wells Fargo. I've done tech support for a few different companies, and then I just do it on the side too. So I'm going to be offering those services on a different channel. And then I'm going to have my healing and spirituality channel where I offer one-on-one soul sessions. And those are going to start at $150 per half hour. And during that time, whatever you want to discuss on a soul level, we can discuss. Those will be where you actually will book those. Since I am a JavaScript developer, I can actually code and create a calendar widget where you can actually click on the calendar and schedule your session and pay for it and book it out, because that's what I'm finding most other spiritualists, that's the best way to manage it. They use like a something like Calendly or whatever. But again, I'm a coder, so I can, once I find the right server, I can just code that shit and make a calendar where you can actually book your session. So how did you, I used a couple of different AI avatar apps and created her. I created a bunch of other characters, so pretty much every time I go live where I don't feel well enough to cam up, you guys will meet a new avatar. I'm gonna just call her for now Melanin D. But yeah, I actually created, I think it was more than 5 avatars, and I think I made 7 of them right before I started this live. So yeah, I'm working on a bunch of different things. My animation, my movie, my channels, and my music. I have fell in love with this new piano app. Like, I really want a piano so that I can start back playing piano like I used to. And y'all, I have made so many new songs and melodies and even bassline runs and beats. Like, I've really just been focused on the things that make me happy because of what my body's putting me through. That's how I rise above and don't fall into like depression and anxiety, is because I'm still being productive even when I'm in the bathroom sick, because that brings me joy. You feel me? And then that helps as I'm, going through having the episode. I can shift my focus to something that makes me happy. And I've always been artistic. Like, shit, I've been drawing since I was little. And then I didn't even know I was doing graphic design by hand. I was that kid that would take the ruler and like manually make mazes and what are they called? Like the spirograph. I would do that shit by hand. And then I just always was in art in school, drawing, doing painting. I even learned pottery temporarily. I did a lot of still life drawings, pen and ink, acrylic paint, oil paint. Like, I'm getting back into all of that. Not just the digital side, but like the actual real media paint that got me started being creative in the first place. And then I've been in music since, I was 9. That's when I first joined the kiddie choir. And then in school, I took chorus in middle school and high school and college. And then I was in band. I was in marching band, symphonic band. I want to reteach myself the clarinet. I remember when I was first chair clarinet in high school and I played the clarinet solo of A Rhapsody in Blue from Walt Disney movie Fantasia, and I got a standing ovation. Like, those things are what have always brought me joy. Music is and has always been my first love, not just singing, playing music, creating art. As a kid, that's how I dealt with, coping with the fucking sexual abuse and shit. Like, I would escape into art for hours, get lost in that shit. And that's where I find my joy. So that's what I want y'all to learn from what you see me going through and like right now. Shift your focus to what makes you happy, bro. Fuck the bullshit. Address shit when you need to, but like, don't focus on that shit. If you got talents and skills, focus on that. And I think that's why none of the jobs I've applied for, like all these fucking virtual interviews, I was getting all discouraged, and my answer is like, man, shit, create. You got all these different skills, create. And quite honestly, I really would rather be my own boss anyway, because I am a creative person. That's where I find strength. That's where I find joy. And I really do miss cooking, but right now, I got to just do what I got to do. And, that'll come, I'll get back to getting in the kitchen. But quite honestly, with what my body's putting me through, I think everything is being orchestrated to force me to rest because I'm so used to being on the go. Y'all got to understand, I grew up like this. Like, we had an event catering business where we did full-on weddings, and not only weddings, we did birthday parties, baby showers, anniversaries, any event you can think of. We were a full-on event catering business, just me, my mom, my sister, and my former stepdad. And then when we started our church, I started training the members. Like, I trained them in the kitchen. I trained them for working in the office with me because I did the accounting, the office management, the real estate management. Like, I grew up, we had a church and a catering business, and I was in school doing band and chorus and art classes. Like, the ADHD from the graves, my mom, like, I just always found an outlet. So my outlet has always been being creative, because when I make something and it comes out good, that shit makes me feel good about myself. When I edit a video and it comes out dope, like, I feel good about myself. As a chef, when I cook and people enjoy my food, that makes me feel good about myself. When I make music, when I sing, and I'm in a happy place, like, that's how I get through going through this shit. Because I've been going through this shit by myself. That's not easy at all. So when I have people that like reach out and they check on me, that means a lot to me. Thank you. Because I'm not finna complain about what I'm going through. I'm just gonna deal with it. And I'm gonna shift my focus to the things that make me happy. That's how I dealt with thyroid cancer. That's how I dealt with all that shit. I mean, I was sicker then. I would be vomiting and having diarrhea at the same time, like, every day for hours, no matter what the fuck I ate. Because I just could not keep food on me. Like, it just, like, soon as I eat that shit, it's coming out. So, it was horrible. I hated that shit. And I lost, I think it was like 55 or 60 pounds in like a month and a half. And I remember my older brother, he was like, damn, your head got big. I was like, nigga, fuck you, talking shit. Because I had got like super small. And a lot of people was concerned. And I kept saying then, I was like, I'm going to be healed. I'm not worried about this shit. It's like, you want to take chemo? You want to take any medication? Nope, I'm good. I changed everything I ate. That's when I started cutting a lot of, definitely I limited eating beef. I had cut pork out first, because pork, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I do miss bacon. I am not gonna hold y'all, because I was a bacon lover. But The last time I ate some pork ribs, when I tell you I was sick as shit for like 2 weeks straight, my body vehemently eliminated that shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's not worth it. It'd be good, it tastes good, but it's just not worth the after effects. So I cut pork out, and then I cut beef out, which was hard to do working at Longhorn. And like one time we had somebody order a ribeye, which is my favorite steak, which, by the way, for those that want to call themselves chefs, let me tell you something. Not one time in all the years I was a certified culinary trainer for Darden restaurants at Longhorn Steakhouse, never once did any of my plates ever come back. You will never beat me in making a steak, bruh. Let me tell you that. We had actual competitions and my ass won. So when I might not eat the shit, but when I tell you I can cook it and it's going to come out exactly how it's supposed to, that was my job as a certified culinary trainer, was showing people the correct way how to not only maintain, proper temperature of food, but how to cook it and to what degree of doneness. Like if you want a steak that's rare, what temperature to cook it to. If you want a steak that's mid-rare, medium, mid-well, well done, how to make a Pittsburgh, how to do a ribeye, how to do a porterhouse. Like I worked and trained at the steakhouse, and I opened the one in the Woodlands. So for those that think you finna outcook me, you not. You not. And trust when I say, when I feel better, those local cooking competitions, oh, I'm gonna start that. For all the folks online that think they can cook better than me, we gonna see. Because we're going to have a real life competition. I don't think your steak's going to be better than mine. Let me tell you that. Andrew, good to see you, my good brother. I just made this new avatar. I'm calling her for now Melanin D. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to call her Queen D. Let's do that. Queen D. Because we on some queen energy. Okay. We're on creative energy despite the challenges. So I have made multiple of these. I'm going to keep making new versions. This will be an actual service that I will offer for those who want avatars for their YouTube channel. I will be offering this as well. And I'm grateful that even though I have been laying down and getting rest, I still have been productive. And like I said, I feel all of y'all's positive energy. Thank you. Especially you, Andrew. Thank you for what you put in the chat. I gave you a shout out at the beginning, so don't forget to catch the replay. And family, let me go ahead and put in the chat for Rumble. Make sure that you guys follow me on Rumble. Again, that is the channel and the platform where, does it just take a while to show up, or did it not post? Hold on. Okay, there it is. I guess it just takes a minute to show up. So make sure you follow me on Rumble. That's the platform where the lives are going to be. We will be doing part 2 of the watch party soon, but just not tonight, family, because I'm not feeling good. And again, for those who would like to support, thank you so much. Again, thank you for your prayers and your positive energy. This is just, like I said, family, this is a test. And just know, no matter what you go through, grow through it. Hold on. Because I'm about to end the live, so I'm going to post this one last time. Okay, there it is, because I know some of y'all had posted about it in the comments, asking where you can send a donation. So it is there in the chat. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so tired right now, family. So I am going to jump off. I still need to eat, but I wanted to jump on and thank all of you for your prayers and your positive energy. It means a lot to me, and just share a few things with y'all. Like I said, I have a whole lot that I am launching new channels, the new virtual services, virtual text services, and then the new health and nutrition. And the health and nutrition channel will also include meal prep. So for those, I know there's people out there that don't really like to cook, or then there are people out there that do, that'll ask for recipes. So I'll be offering both. I'll be offering for those who may just want like ideas of, what they can cook for the week. It was funny when I was talking with my mom, and we were reminiscing. My mom used to make us draw calendars manually with rulers. Like, I'm no bullshit. Like, me and my sister, that was our job as teenagers, was to manually draw calendars for her to create a menu, because my mom, before she got remarried, she was a single mom of 4. So she would, and I said, you didn't even realize that you were doing food costs in meal planning, because she would take a certain budget and she would decide what meals she was going to make for the week, for all 4 of the kids. And then she would go to the store and buy all the ingredients for each meal, and then have us fill out the calendar so that we knew each night what dinner was going to be, because my mom was also working multiple jobs. And I had older siblings, so sometimes, they had to heat up dinner or shit. She had us cooking. I ain't gonna lie, my mom had us cooking young, because again, we had a business. So it would be like, okay, we're gonna have this on this night, this on that night, and then we're gonna go to the store and buy all the ingredients. So that's where my foundation in, the chef on the budget side comes from, is growing up doing event catering, doing weddings, us having a church, because our church, we had dinners too. We had weekly dinners, and then we would have like formal banquets where we would serve the food, we would decorate, the whole facility, and then we would cater and serve it. And it can be a lot of work, but to be honest, the catered events that I've done them by myself. And and just for people who have asked, I don't do any plated catered event for less than $150 a plate. That's the minimum. So if for those who have mentioned that, if you're interested in having me to cater an event, please understand that if your event is not at least $150 a plate, don't even have time for that. So that's something that I definitely do still offer as an executive chef and pastry chef and event caterer. But that is only if it's worth my time financially. So other than that, everything else is going to be virtual services. And y'all just stay tuned for it. Patty, I definitely am. I'm actually laying down right now, to be honest. But I'm about to go ahead and take a nap real quick, because I'm still very tired from today. I've had multiple episodes today. So I'm speaking healing and abundance. And thank you again to everybody for your positive energy. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And let's stay focused. And this video game. What's funny that you say that is that I'm actually developing a video game too. It's called Demon Slayer by D. But then I'm going to make an animated one like this. And y'all just stay tuned. Like I said, I'm working on so many different projects. I'm even learning about different software, animation software. Like, I'm actually really excited about getting my movie launched. So, even as I lay down, I just made her, and it didn't even take not even 30 seconds. And then I made so many different avatars. So I'm resting, but still in creation mode. All right. So family, I love y'all. Thank you again for your support. Stay uplifted, stay in a high frequency, stay focused on what matters. Keep the children that are being trafficked in prayer. Family, continue to keep those prayers going, that these kids will be found. Continue to stay focused. And again, y'all go over there to Rumble, catch my most recent live. We started watching the documentary, the Pizzagate one. I, also revealed just different things and spoke on different things. So y'all go over to Rumble, catch that replay. Definitely give any feedback, comment, share, subscribe. I really do enjoy the comments. I want y'all to know that, because then we get a chance to really interact. So I definitely plan to do more lives like this with the avatars that I'm creating when I don't feel up to camming up. But then, of course, when I'm on Rumble, I do plan on camming up as I have been. And we're going to finish watching the documentary. And then I even want to give you guys a chance, for those that want to, like after we finish it, if you want to come on panel and give your feedback, or if you have, a story, or if you have an experience that you want to share, let me know, and we could talk offline, and make sure that what we talk about is appropriate. But really, I ain't gonna hold you on Rumble. Is kind of like true freedom of speech. Like, you don't really have to censor as much over there. That's why I like Rumble. So if y'all are not on Rumble, family, DzPeepz, get on there. I'm gonna drop that in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, because I need y'all to make sure you click follow on Rumble, and you can also subscribe. Like I said, once I get to 100 subscribers, which I'm getting close to. And shout out to the new Let's Get Ready to Rumble DzPeepz. I appreciate y'all, because we're up to 80, and I didn't even realize that until I logged on earlier today. So again, thank you to everybody that's been supporting. And for those that would like to send donations, I did post my Cash App and Venmo in the chat. If you're an international subscriber and you want to send a donation, shoot me an email, justdeeshow@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link for my private PayPal. And I just want to thank y'all for your love and support. Thank you to everybody that has reached out, and thank you to everybody who has previously sent donations. Thank you to those who have asked about sending donations and that want to support. Thank you so much. But most of all, thank you for your prayers, family, because I feel them. So like I said, instead of worrying, just give energy to abundance, healing, prosperity, favor. Let's keep the frequency in a high vibrational place. We all need that, okay? So Andrew, thank you. Hope you feel better. Thank you, my good brother, and much love to you. Like I said, thank you for your encouraging words in the comments. I really appreciate all of you so much. So I'm going to get some rest, family. I'll be keeping y'all in my prayers. Keep me in your prayers, and let's just stay uplifted, okay?